Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chip Over the Top Rugby podcast. 10 out of 15 isn't so terrible. What do I mean by that? Well, I made a video the other day and I uploaded it for you all, and I gave my prediction on what I thought the Welsh team was going to be, and I'm just going to run through that with you very quick here. Happy 4th of July, by the way, if you are American and you're watching this. If you aren't, don't worry about it. It's election day in the UK as well. Quite coincidentally, right? I do find that odd that the election day was the 4th of July. But hey, that is for another day. Anyway, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Ryan. I am the host of the Chip Over the Top Rugby podcast. All that good stuff. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and, of course, subscribe below for more content. I do very much appreciate it. Obviously, Wales against Australia this weekend coming. The timing is a bit off. It's obviously 10 a.m. UK time, I do believe. But here in America, it's 5 a.m. And I'm actually at the beach this weekend. So that will be interesting, getting up at 5 a.m. to watch. I'm going to try and do my best. It's difficult to watch here in America because it's obviously not on normal TV. It's on Flo Rugby. So if you are wanting to watch that, I will put the link for Flo Rugby in the description below. It is obviously behind a paywall, which is kind of frustrating. But anyway, let's dive into the Wales v not now please, Australia team selection. So I obviously went kind of bold initially as well, and I did, well, to be fair, I didn't think it was going to be too bold, and I wasn't far off, right, in terms of the squad selection. I think 10 out of 15 I got correct. So I'm just gonna put this up on the screen real quick just so I can see the squad that I picked. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so I wasn't wrong in certain areas, right? So what is going on here? The squad. So I had front row, and personally I thought this was going to be the best front row to start, but I'm guessing there's probably some niggles somewhere in that. So I had Corey Domachowski, Derry Lake, and Dylan Lewis front row. I got the second row right. I knew Chris Chunza was going to slot in at second row alongside Dav Jenkins. He's done that multiple times against for Exeter in the Premiership, and it's paid off. And then I got the back row entirely spot on. Tane Plumtree, Tommy Raffel, Aaron Wainwright. Ellis Bevan gets his start again at 9, so I got that right. And then at 10 is where I kind of got wrong, and I got most of the back line wrong, actually, to be fair. Which is well, I didn't actually. How many did I get? Let me just look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 of the backs correct, in not in any order. So I had obviously I had, let's just start from the top. I had Corey Domachowski, Derry Lake, Dylan Lewis front row. Then I had Chris Jones, Dav Jenkins. Second row, back row, I had Aaron Wainwright, in no particular order, obviously. It should be Plumtree, Raffel, Aaron Wainwright. Then I had Ellis Bevan. And I wanted to see Jacob Beetham at 10. I think he is a little bit more elusive. And he adds a little bit more size than Ben Thomas. So I had him at 10. Then I had Nick Tompkins at 12, Mason Grady 13, and Josh Hathaway 14, Rio Dyer 11, and I had Cam Winnett at fullback. But as we know, Warren Gatland likes to do things his way, and to be fair, it wasn't all that wrong in what I had. So he is looking to basically, what he said is he's looking to shore up the positions of issues, right? We know fly half is an issue in Wales. And we know that tight head is kind of an issue as well when we don't have, like Kieran Azarati, in my opinion, is probably going to be should be the starter. I think he does very well. Obviously looked a little bit out of depth against South Africa in the test. But again, I've talked about it. The second row room wasn't the biggest or the strongest, right? And yeah, he got pretty pinned badly against South Africa. But yeah, so the Welsh squad to take on Australia, ladies and gentlemen, is interesting, right? It's like let me know your thoughts below. But yeah, so he's gone new at number 10. Yeah, so we've got Liam Williams at fullback. In fact, let's just start from the front row. So Gareth Thomas, Derry Lake, Archie Griffin. I wasn't expecting Archie Griffin, to be honest, but I like it. I had Archie Griffin on the bench, I believe. And then I got the second row pairing right, the back row pairing correct. Chris Schunzer, Dav Jenkins, Tane Plumtree, Tommy Rafael, Aaron Wainwright. At 9, it's Ellis Bevan. At 10, he's gone with Ben Thomas. Now, I think Ben Thomas is probably a safer option than Beetham, to be honest. Obviously, Ben Thomas plays 12, Beetham plays 15. Beetham has played 10 for Cardiff RFC and through Age Gauge Rugby. Ben Thomas is also slotted in at 10 when Tinus De Beer has been injured for Cardiff. So makes sense, nice 9-10 pairing there. And then obviously Mason Grady at 12, so he's used to playing centre alongside Ben Thomas. Owen Watkin at 13, Josh Hathaway at 14, and Liam Williams at 15. So it's quite an interesting team. A mix of youth and experience. I am personally looking forward to it. Although, to be fair, I, along with many, thought that the Mason Grady at 12 was kind of done. I personally prefer to see Mason Grady, like we've seen it before, Jamie Roberts, etc. You know, Crash Ball, Hadley Parks would be another person who fits that bill of Crash Ball 12. But personally, I would prefer to see Mason Grady in a bit more space. Like, I'd love to see him, you know, out on the wing, but that's clearly not the case. He's going to be slotting in at 12. Owen Watkin, the defensive sort of marshalling at 13, probably offers a bit more defensive capabilities than Mason Grady does at 12. He's throwing in Hathaway straight into the mixer. Personally, I think that's a fantastic move. We've missed Zammit. We've missed that spark on the outside. We've missed the ability to create something from nothing. Hathaway does that. You just watch his highlights for Gloucester. He can do that, right? Very similar player to Zammit. Probably not, maybe a little bit slower, but not too slow, right? He is rapid in his own right. And then he's gone surefire with Liam Williams for the experience at the back, which is kind of interesting because there's no Cam Winnett on the bench. Maybe he's just resting him after the South Africa game. Maybe he's carrying a little bit of a knock. I don't know. But now let's talk about the replacements, the subs, right? So Evan Lloyd is going to be coming on for Derry Lake, possibly. Who knows? And then this is where I get confused. So I honestly thought, you know, Dom Machowski was going to either be starting or at least featured on the bench, but he isn't. He's gone with Kemsley Matthias. And the same with Archie Griffin, Dylan Lewis, right? I thought one of them would be starting, one would be on the bench, but no, Harry O'Connor, which is kind of odd to me because I still believe that Dylan Lewis is the top tight head scrummager that Wales has. But obviously Archie Griffin, young, he's physical, he's big. So we're trying to blood him in as well. Replacement, Harry O'Connor. And interestingly, ladies and gentlemen, Corey Hill comes straight back in to the squad on the bench, which I thought was odd. Maybe he just... I think Gatland's has always liked Corey Hill, to be honest. And I know he was disappointed when he went off to Japan to ply his trade there. But hey, he's starting. He's back on the bench. He's probably going to come on at some point, I am sure. And then James Botham, interestingly, features on the bench. I thought Mackenzie Martin. I really like Mackenzie Martin, but I guess, you know, he wants a bit more bulk, maybe a bit more versatility coming off the bench with James Botham. And then 9, 10, and the backs replacements are sure, you know, they're like safe bets. So he's gone Kieran Hardy, Sam Costello, and Nick Tompkins. So interestingly, no Beetham, right? I personally, instead of Costello, would have gone with Beetham. And the reason why is because Beetham can cover more positions. Sam is just going to come on at 10 maybe, and then maybe we'll see Ben Thomas move to 12. Mason Grady comes on into 13, and Owen Watkins comes off. We'll see though. And then obviously Nick Tompkins to play 12. So it's interesting because there's not really a wing or back three cover there. So yeah, I would have gone slightly different. Let me know your thoughts below on that, because I always think when it comes to replacements, if you've got someone who can play a utility back position like a Beetham, they should either be starting or they should feature on the bench. And it's interesting not to see someone like that. And so yeah, that's the team. I'm excited for this game. I'm probably going to get up at 5 a.m. for you guys in the UK. It's 10 a.m. Or around there, should I say? But one thing I do want to mention here is that, like, with selecting Ben Thomas, let me know your thoughts below, right? With selecting Ben Thomas at 10 here, do you, like, because I personally don't see Cardiff RFC, Cardiff Rugby now playing Ben Thomas at 10, right? You've got Tinus de Beer, who's still going to be there for a year or two, probably longer, to be honest. And then we have Callum Sheedy coming in from Bristol Bears. So obviously then that's going to throw Sheedy into the mixer, and obviously we've got Ben Thomas now. So it's good, you know, we want to create depth. That's what Warren Gatland is doing. He's trying to create depth at that position because, like I've said previously, you look at the 10s that are currently in Wales, starting for the regions, right? Obviously, Tinus de Beer is the only one that isn't of Welsh origin, right? He's from South Africa. But like I've said, Will Reid, Sam Costello, and Dan Edwards all are fantastic players in their own right. Right, on form, they're good, but they're small in stature. They don't offer that physical 10 presence in the middle, right? If you have a massive 12 crash ball, 13 crash ball forward coming around the base of the scrum, for example, they're going to target number 10. Now, I'm not saying they're terrible at defense, right? Because they do. They put their bodies on the line, which is great. But if you've got someone who's a bit more physical, like a Ben Thomas, or a Beetham, for example, like Big is a big dude, right? He's like 6'2", 6'3". So it's just a different dynamic, different change of pace. So with Callum Sheedy going to Cardiff, right, and there being multiple players who can play 10 at Cardiff, I always think that there should be some sort of coordination between the regions and Welsh Rugby to be like, hey, and I know this is kind of where it probably gets a bit difficult and murky in the waters, because obviously each region has their own agenda, but then really we need to think big picture with Wales and Welsh Rugby as well, that regionally the regions need to be solid and shored up. And then it needs to sort of be some strategy around, okay, if Ben Thomas is going to start for Wales at 10, he needs more game time at 10 for Cardiff. And if Cardiff are not going to put him there at 10 constantly, because now we have Sheedy coming in and Tinus de Beer is still there, what region could Ben Thomas go to where he can apply his trade and be the starting 10, or be that 10-12 duo? Yes, okay, you know, you have to look at Cardiff and be like, all right, Tinus de Beer, he might get injured, he might not stay long term. Sheedy might get injured, might not stay long term. So obviously the more depth you have in that position, the better. But to miss out on just getting that valuable first team experience starting at 10, to then carry that over into Wales, I don't know. I always find stuff like that quite interesting, especially at positions where it's needed the most. And fly half is, we used to be the fly half factory, but now we're the back row factory. Now we're fullback factory, probably not actually, probably just back row factory, to be honest, right? Like, our back rows are fantastic. You just look at it now, the depth that we have at back row with Plumtree, with Jack Morgan obviously injured, but Rafael, Wainwright, Mackenzie Martin, like, these players are just outstanding. And then Morgan Morse coming through the under-20s. So yeah, I get it. I understand starting Ben Thomas at 10. But then Cardiff need to be like, all right, maybe we should give him game time at 10. But that's going to be difficult, like I said, with Tinnis de Beer there and what have you. So anyway, let me know your thoughts below. Wales v Australia this weekend, 2 days time. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure you're looking forward to it. This is a little gift that's finally come in. It is the Welsh flag, obviously, in the American flag. It's kind of, you know, poignant. Obviously, my wife is American. I live in America now. I'm from Wales. But yeah, that's going to go up on the wall eventually. Right there. See, the Welsh flag is right there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to putting that up. It's going to add to the room very, very nicely. But yeah, that's me. That's Welsh Guy in America here. Chip Over the Top Rugby podcast host. Hope you're all doing well. And yeah, all the good stuff. Thumbs up. Subscribe for more, and come on Wales, Cymru am byth, let's go.